Jeez, does anyone read?
Well, we're bloggers here, so we like to think we're important.
The broadsheets, that's another question.
Yeah, but then I guess this would be one question. We think we're important. We get review copies, we have a community, we like talking about books, we're very passionate about that. But do you know of any, let's say, concrete impact that a blogger or a group of bloggers has made towards, let's say, the popularity or the sales of a certain book? Because like we can talk about anecdotal evidence, right? Oh, I talked about this book and my friend picked it up and she picked it up, and so we think that, oh, okay, we make a difference. And we do it to our friends, but like, let's say, beyond that, like how do we, can you quantify your influence as a blogger, as a book blogger?
Well, one of them there is sometimes you can't. Well, it's talking about marketing. Na sometimes you can't quantify the impact. So, like for example, 10 of us reviews a book. Sometimes for the reader, it's impactness. Like when they see the first review, parang baliwala lang. But by the time na they read the 5th review, parang maybe I should ano na. So it's collective impact. So in that sense, parang it's hard to track down parang individual effects. But like for me, it's also something leveraging. Like for example, this independent press in New York, Soft Scout Press, parang they said me, could you review this book? And then I reviewed it, and then parang they used that na to get the book into national. Parang they can tell national bookstores, book buyers na this Filipino reviewer read it, so maybe you want to carry it. And I do see it in national bookstore, pero 1 or 2 copies lang. So in that sense, but honestly, like yung actual sales ng book, if somebody reads my review and they buy one book, I'm happy na, because I honestly don't think it's really that there's a 1:1 correlation. I'd also want to clarify na don't generalize naman na book blog equals book reviews. So we do different things. Like Tari has her advocacy. I'm sure the other, like Chachik also, it's very important because her blog links to other blogs. It's not about selling books, but about distributing information, on giving awareness na there's this interesting material on the web. So yeah, so for me that's what we wanna. It's a trick question when you ask us whether there's a direct correlation, because it needs to be quantified and there's all these other variables at play.
It's hard to quantify what we do actually, but I do get comments from my review saying that I bought the book because you said it is good, or when someone else reviews the book, they say that I read this because Chachik said it's good. She said that it's one of her favorite reads this year. But I think the most important things that bloggers have done was when things like when they whitewash covers, bloggers rise up. Tari would know, she was part of that, and say that they should. Is that bad?
What? Whitewashing?
I'm just waiting for her. She's very passionate about whitewashing.
I'm next.
My bawang topic ngayon yung gay at
So when publishers realize that
sorry, just to clarify, whitewashing covers means
I'll get into it.
when there's a book, let's say with an Asian character,
It appears white.
the cover comes out that the character is Caucasian or white. So they change the ethnicity of the character in the cover.
Yeah, because the publishers say that books sell better if they have white people on the cover than
Snort.
the actual. So I think that happened several times, especially in the YA blog sphere. It's happening all the time when bloggers rise up and say, we don't like it when you whitewash covers, when the covers don't reflect the true nature or descriptions of the characters. So that's a very concrete impact for me, and that's an example that I can give.
Yeah, I'd like to add details to what Chachik is talking about.
because I feel really strongly about that. Yeah, okay. But to go back to your original question about sales, there are experts in the US, social media experts in the US, who are currently studying that. And you know, like this is their day job to study the impact of blogging, and they still have no conclusion. So that would be the answer to that. There is no. Oh, do you know a statistic? Oh, okay. Yeah. So from what I know, there are no statistics yet, but there are literally people who are working on it, doing the research, dedicating their work to finding out the impact of blogging on sales. But to talk about, to use this opportunity to talk about impact in general, so I'd like to use the example of whitewash covers. I'll give a specific example, Liar by Justine Larbalestier. It's a young adult novel, and the protagonist is an African-American female teen. But the original cover had a Caucasian-American teen, or basically a Caucasian girl on the cover. So that, and the entire kid litosphere and YA blogosphere banded together to protest because it's an example of systematic racism or institutionalized racism. Because the idea behind that was that books won't sell if there's a person of color on the cover. So it's institutionalized or systematic racism. So the YA blogosphere and the kid litosphere banded together, protested, boycotted the book, and the publisher was forced to change the cover. And after that, a lot of publishers started being afraid of bloggers. Like, they would say that they would be afraid to make it on our hit list. So that is definitely, I mean...
So it's like a mafia.
So in terms of impact, do I think we make a difference? I think making a publisher spend thousands of dollars to change book covers, I think that's definitely an impact.
Just a comment on that. The publisher didn't learn their lesson because they repeated the
Yes.
same thing.
They repeated, but then again the bloggers fought again, and then they had to change book covers again. They've changed book covers. The same publisher, Bloomsbury, but also other publishers. A lot of publishers, ever since Liar, a lot of publishers have had to change. They've had to spend a lot of money to change book covers. But they were only pushed to change the book covers because bloggers really, you know, made a lot of noise.
Thank you. Alden? No?
I write chick lit romance novels, 2 of them self-published, and when I first released those titles, I approached book bloggers Tina and Chachi, and there is an impact on sales. I mean, apparently you weren't aware of the impact. I should tell you. It was well worth however much. I mean, it's 99 cents on Amazon, so the return is definitely more than that. And also, I constantly get emails from people telling me that they found out about the books through Chachik or Tina. And on Amazon, for one of the books, the most helpful review is from Tina. So, so at least, but I know of the impact because I actually published it and I see the sales figures, and I also see the connection between the people who were referred. And so yes, thank you. There's an impact.
Yeah, and I also want to add, I think there's also a difference. I think when it's reviewed itself in Amazon from compared to a blog, am I mistaken?
Well, I think because they see the Amazon review first, so that's very helpful. But eventually, what I've been getting in my blog are as my keyword searches are reviews that are I get hits because people are searching for reviews of my books that probably were not in Amazon. So my books are have relatively few reviews. So maybe someone's interested, they're not convinced yet. They Google and they find Chachik's blog and Tina's blog and Chris, and a bunch of people here. And it's really had an impact, at least as far as I'm concerned.
I think
Thank
it's
you.
also, I think it's also, to point out na how reviews on bloggers can be leveraged by the publishers or authors. And usually what happens is, this has a bigger impact when you're less popular authors. You can immediately link on your website or even your Amazon's page or with the book itself when a reviewer reviews your book. So there's also that interplay na our authors or publishers making the most out of the reviews they get.
Okay, so I think we've run over time, but maybe we can hear a couple of words from Sasha and Aldrin. Your impact on others. Ayaw na talaga. Really? Alright. So, any last words from the panel? Who among you here book blog? Raise your hand. Who are book bloggers?
Louis. Louis. Di ka kamay. Louis.
Louis?
Louis.
Where the hell is you?
So there are several book bloggers here.
Yes.
So, yeah, book blogging is becoming more popular. There are more and more book bloggers. You can see if you can check out any of the book blogs of these panelists. Or you can go to the Filipino ReaderCon website because it provides links also to the Filipino book bloggers website, which provides links to everyone else's websites or blogs. Yeah, so, sorry, Jaja, you were raising your hand.
I'm just very curious because we book bloggers and book club members, I think we're a force in the industry. I'm just curious now, how many are, please raise your hand if you're a publisher. Hi. Thank you. I'm just curious if they attend. That's it.
Oh, there was another
Actually,
publisher here.
Yes, we have Scholastic.
Well, I don't know if this is kind of related directly to what we're trying to discuss, but recently when we have very special Scholastic events, which I'm sure some of you were already able to receive text invitations, email invitations about warehouse sales that we do. We've used discussions on blog sites, and we've used discussions on web, and book. We do book talks through internet, and this sort of circulate from our members, and it generates a lot of curiosity so that people go to our place and eventually look for these books. So
you've utilized book bloggers and book club members.
When we talk about books in the net, it has an effect.
That's good to know. Thank you. Thank you, Scholastic also. And for telling us that.
Segue.
And for telling us that the ones who maximize the force that is the book bloggers and the book club members are not just limited to the international publishers, but also to the local arms of international publishers and also to some local publishers. Okay, so thank you very much to our panelists.